Hello, welcome to the Alone Show. I'm your host, John Alone, and in this episode, I've not brought some regulars because, well, you get the gist by now. But as for our guest, she's from Hendersonville, Tennessee. She's an author, certified special needs advocate, ghostwriter, songwriter, speaker, and live streamer. Wow, that's a lot of things to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mary Elizabeth Jackson.
Hello, how are you? Yeah, it's a couple of different hats to wear, isn't it?
Yep. Oh, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of things you've done.
And thank you. You build things up over the years.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So, how's life?
Life is very busy. Because I'm a mother of three and just got one and two kids into college and school started back. And recently my daughters have released a single. It's out on the world and European independent charts, and it's in the top 5. So we're very excited about that.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Well, it's called their group is called Sisters J, and because our last name is Jackson, and the song is called Open When. So it's OPENWHEN, and it's based on a true story, and it's all about when you're missing somebody who's away from you, or you haven't seen them in a while, and it's about sending letters of encouragement and to people that you miss. So open when you're missing me. The song goes, open when you need a new song, open when you forget where you belong, open when you want to feel closer to me. So that's part of the words of the song that I help write.
Okay, great. So, and tell me more about your work as an author.
Well, I got published in 2017, and I have 3 books in a children's series that my son inspired, and they're books to empower children to believe no matter what, however they came into this world. I have 2 children that are on the spectrum. My little guy is autistic, and so it's about teaching them also positive, empowering words, new language, that language they can use starting very young, and they can take it with them their whole lives. And then I have a middle grade reader that's out that we're kind of shopping it for a film right now. And that is a anti-bullying story that's redemption and forgiveness and being forgiven and being a better friend and accepting others. And then I've got several anthologies I'm part of.
Okay, nice. And is there any books that you're planning on writing pretty soon in the future?
Yes, actually. I've got one with my co-writer that we're looking for a publisher right now. And then one I am working on presently right now. Actually 2. One is about spiritualism today. It's about aware,
Nice, cool.
be more mindful and know where we're coming from. We can heal and be that whole person that we're all seeking to be, right? We can be a
Yeah,
better parent. And the other one is about being an empath and raising kids really intuitive and sensitive, have sensory issues, and those kids who are really well, they just have a lot of abilities, and the kids who are coming in, these children are just so tuned into the world and things that are unseen, you know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So and some of that comes from my own experience with my own children.
Okay, that's nice.
Almost 20 years now.
Oh, nice. And what works have you done as a special needs advocate?
Well, I've been a certified advocate for a really long time, and so I help families getting services for their kids in schools or wherever they're at, even homeschool. And I also have gone in and helped libraries get set up to be more sensory friendly for folks with challenges or disabilities. So like we've created sensory rooms in libraries and helped other libraries do this. April 2nd, we launched at the Nashville Public Library. It's an art exhibit, and it features 8 local artists who all have challenges or are on the spectrum or autistic. And then in September, we'll change that out and do photographers who are on the spectrum or have challenges, and kind of keep that rotating art exhibit at the library.
Okay.
And
Nice.
I've worked on some law stuff as well. Like I've got some stuff coming up that we're working from the disability community, working on some legislation for it's sort of a new language and curriculum, that will help social, emotional, and academically for kids.
Okay. Great. Great.
Yeah.
That's nice. And is there any more songs you plan on writing in the future as a songwriter?
Yes, actually, we've got one. We already have one done, and this morning, actually, one of my co-writers and I were working on another song this morning. But we've got about 5 or 6. It's a process for recording and getting ready, and like this song that just launched June 28th. Then it has a life that it takes on, and you have to work it through the different, I, I guess, circuits, if you want to call it, the world charts, the European independent charts, the US charts, and it has a life for so long, and then you want to go and record and put the next one out. So it's a process. There's a lot of work involved. And I've been able to take a lot that I've learned in the author world and being an entrepreneur, and then translate that over into songwriting and marketing and music producing.
Okay. That sounds very interesting.
Yeah. Yes. I know our life sometimes goes a little different than how we start things off, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it sure does.
Yes.
And and what works have you done as a speaker throughout the last few years?
Well, that's kind of interesting because a lot of things we haven't done in person, because of COVID. So mostly all of that went online. I've now started, recently most of the things I've done speaking wise have been to library organizations, geared more toward getting their libraries ready for being more sensory friendly and adaptable and things like that. But I've been live streaming for 4 years, and so some of that translates over into speaking with groups of people, and some of it's about book coaching, writing, going from writing to getting published. um, and actually, a friend of mine and I are putting together a program that is, so we're going to go in and speak about parenting, kids who are on the spectrum and children with sensory issues and empaths and things like that.
Okay. That's a great cause you're doing. I like that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm actually getting ready to start a new podcast in a couple weeks. It's an author podcast with a music review company. So I'm excited about that. It'll be called The Bookworm, and I'm excited to start this new podcast. It'll be a little bit different than what I've already been doing.
Okay. That's very nice.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a new adventure.
Oh yes. And what kind of things that you do as a live streamer?
Well, I have a show on, it's called Writers Corner Network, and you can find it on Facebook, Amazon Live. We go live every week at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Because where are you at?
I'm in the UK.
Okay, that's right. So you're about 6, 7 hours ahead of me. So I'm on Central Time. Now, my co-host and partner, she is in South Africa. So she's about 8 hours ahead of me. And We go live every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Central. We just had Sergio Troncoso on yesterday, who he is an amazing author, and he has a library named after him in El Paso, Texas. He's done so much work in the literary world with his books are about immigration and being an immigrant and coming through all that, and he has fascinating stories. But so we have that show every Tuesday, and then I have one called Special Needs TV, and so that's the shows I do in the live streaming world. And sometimes I co-host on other people's networks. You know, they have a show about empowering women or another book show, and sometimes I'll co-host.
Okay, interesting. I've also, and you've mentioned you're also a ghostwriter.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, I didn't start out as a ghostwriter. I mean, it kind of is one of those things that happens, you know, in your life when you start doing certain things and other doors open and people will say, hey, you know, I need somebody to do this. Can you do this kind of thing? Or, you know, would you like to get into this kind of writing? So I've been ghostwriting for three, 3 years, I guess, 3, 4 years. And each project is obviously it's different. Most of the books I have done ghostwriting on have all been fiction. I mean, nonfiction, excuse me. And they've been true life stories, which one we just finished up. It's supposed to be published this month. That it's a very powerful book for women about stories of women, a particular family who the mother-in-law that's in the story, she passed away in February, but she was a famous TV evangelist, she and her husband. And the stories are about trials and tribulations of overcoming just unbelievable things in their lives and helping. So it helps others to know I can overcome. If these people can overcome, I can overcome, you know? And then I'm working on a doctor's book right now. And then I've got another client who it's a true story based on some things that happened in their lives that they've got a huge following and platform for. So it's totally different than writing for yourself, you know, because you have to be able as the writer to write for someone else but sound like them
Okay.
and make the book their voice, even though you're using the, you know, the certain format and the language. And, you know, so it's not all, you know, if somebody is not, you know, sometimes people, they can't write, they have a hard time writing because they try to write the way that they hear it in their head or how they talk. And, you know, we have to write it in a different format for the public, you know.
Hmm.
So it's fun, but it's also very challenging, and sometimes it's not as fun as writing your own stuff that's just kind of flowing through you, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a different experience.
Yeah. And out of the things you have done in the past, what have been the high points and the low points?
Wow. Well, I think probably a high point would be when my first children's book was published. 3 months after it was published, it won a Gold Maxi Literary Award. So that was really a very huge highlight for me um, in writing and having that honor, you know. Um, and my my daughters have recorded the CD that goes with that book. So it's very sweet to have all of that in our family. You know, the artwork is based off my son. I guess getting to do that together has been a real highlight in my life. Um, and let's see, this song is going to go to number one, and so that will be that's going to be a huge, really fun thing to have happen. And I mean, there's other lots of little things that happen along the way that are amazing. Interviews that you have, and magazine articles that are written, and being on television for interviews. Those kind of things are a lot of fun to go along with your career. Um, but I think being a creative person, having a vision and then being able to see it come to fruition is, and other people get what you're doing or like what you're doing, that's definitely a highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. Where would you see yourself 20 years from now?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I hope that I've accomplished a lot in my life and created a legacy to leave for my children, and been able to create things that um, are helpful to others, that help educate and empower others. That's for me, and to get into some filmmaking and some documentary work. So, I hope I get all these ideas in my head and all these things I want to do. I hope I get to bring them to fruition, and that I get to do it with in some cooperation with my family. Um, and, because family is very important, and it's a very important part of our lives, and keeping that strong. I think it's important to teach that to our children, because those are our first relationships in our lives, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we need them to be as healthy as they can be. But I hope that I can inspire um, children and teens and young adults and even women and men to believe in themselves, to be able to heal whatever they need to heal so they can live the best life that they're wanting to live, and to have tools for self-regulation of their emotions, and be able to kind of maybe work through any mental, emotional, all of us have gone through so much mentally and emotionally in the last couple of years. And we sometimes we need tools to help us get through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that I hope to accomplish, and to leave some things for my children to carry on. So
Yeah.
I hope I'll be here for 20 years and more. So, but I have got a 9-year-old who's very energetic, so I got to keep up with him.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. He's very, very energetic. So, um, it's kind of crazy, kind of crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, outside of things you've done, what do you do in your free time?
Well, I try and get some rest. Obviously, I need the rest, but I actually, nature is a big one for me, for kind of decompressing, and being able to do the things that I want to do. I have to decompress and recharge myself. So being in nature, going to the beach, being with my family, and I do a lot of writing actually on my time off, but that's for me, because then I get to do what I want to do for myself, my creative life, you know, and then
Oh, yeah.
a lot of other things will come through for me, and be very very a lot of it I can channel and funnel through other things.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah. So I don't know. It doesn't sound very super exciting. I'm not like, traipsing across the world and jumping off mountains and stuff, because I'm a little too old for that these days, I think. But it's we just try to have as much fun as we can in life. It's very, very important to do that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was the funniest moment you've had?
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure I can. I don't know. There's been so many. I don't know if there's anything I can talk out loud about. Well, I couldn't quite figure out what it would have to be probably. It'd have to be. It could. Well, I an incident where I was back a long time ago in my early 20s, when I was performing on in a show, because I lived in Orlando, and there's all the we have all the tourist attractions in Orlando, and I was on stage, and I fell off in the middle of a show. So
Yeah,
that was quite embarrassing.
it happens, you
It
know?
happens. Yes, it happens. My son, we were at a concert for my daughter in high school, and my son, um, the professor went to do a fist pump with my son, and my son punched him between the legs.
Oh dear.
Yes.
That's
I don't know.
unfortunate.
I don't know if there's things you want to talk about out loud, but yeah, there's been a lot of things like that, you know. So,
Yeah.
it's, I don't know. Anyways, but they're quite humorous in life, you know.
Yeah, they sure are. What's your favorite ice cream topping?
My favorite ice cream topping, probably, I would say, probably Oreo, crushed up Oreo cookies.
Ah, yes.
Yes, doesn't that make you feel
I
like a
do,
kid?
yeah, I do love an Oreo crumbled on my ice cream every once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while. And when you're raising, when you're raising kids for so long, you get into that kid mode. So
Oh, yes. If you can make one wish right now, what would it be?
I would, I would wish for healing among all of us for this period of time that we've been in, and that there be more peace. And I know that sounds kind of really cliche, but I really wish for a better mental health space for all of us right now in this period of time, that things would calm down, and that there would be people would experience much more joy than they have been.
Yeah? If your life was a meal, what kind of meal would it be?
Okay, that's the most interesting question anyone's ever asked me. I have no idea. Well, it would be healthy. I mean, because I love um, um, vegetables and very healthy food. So I think it would be a meal that I've had out at a restaurant before that was, everything was just really freshly done, and the flavor would be very vibrant. So probably some sort of, like chicken, and then you'd have vegetables and some sort of sauce, and then you'd have a delicious dessert with it. And I don't even know there'd be a name for it. It's just like something that explodes in your mouth that tastes delicious.
Oh, yeah. That sounds great. If someone wrote a book about you, what do you
Yeah.
think its title would be?
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's probably what it would say, something like, holy crap, I can't believe that just happened.
Okay.
Because there's so many of those things in my life. There's like these, there's amazing things that are going on at once. I mean, I remember that after I won the award on my book back in 2017, of course, at the same time, I just got off the phone receiving that information, and I was like so excited. The next thing I know, my son's like throwing up, so
Yeah,
it's just,
absolutely.
you just have those moments that your life is full of sometimes. You're like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
Yeah. Would you rather speak all languages or talk to animals?
Oh my gosh. Another great question. Because I'd love to do both. Hmm, Probably talk to animals. How about because animals are different languages, right? Each of them would be speaking different languages. So you might cover both of that, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, absolutely. What word do you commonly misspell?
Said, SAID.
Hmm,
Because
interesting.
I sometimes I put the I before the A. And when you say it, doesn't it sound like it should be SED?
Yeah. Yeah. What's the best way to travel?
Oh my gosh. I think car, to be honest with you. I'm not a big flyer, and I've been on boats. I love boats. I love the lake and everything. But I think driving, because you get to see so much more.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And you can take your time, and you can pull off and go to places like, we have these crazy places here in the States. I don't know if you have them where you are, but there's a place called Bucky's here, and it looks like it's the epicenter of the world, and and people are addicted to this place, and so you can stop and see all the craziness as you're driving.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. What is your favorite food?
I would probably say pizza.
Ah, yes. I
Yeah,
say pizza too.
yeah, even though I like to try to eat as healthy as I can, I love pizza.
Yeah. How much time do you spend on the internet?
Oh my gosh, a lot. Because I have managed like 8 social media accounts between my girls' music and then all my author stuff and advocacy work. So I would say I spend a lot of time online, way more than I'd like to be.
Wow.
Yeah,
Incredible.
because I mean I'm live streaming, then you're editing, you're creating videos. So there's a lot.
Cool. What is the best way to start the morning?
Oh man, meditation and prayer for me, absolutely. And if I can be near water or outside in nature, that's even better. So for me, that's the best way for me to start my day because it's a recharge for me.
Great. Love it.
Yeah. And then I can, then I can go do all the million things and, have my, take care of kids and do all that stuff you do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What is the best way to stay motivated and complete your goals?
Well, since everything we do, we have choices, right? Choices have consequences. So we have to make that choice. Like recently, I'll tell you, I lost my publisher. He died. He died. It was not expected, and I think when things like that happen and we're faced with trials and tribulations, and even day to day trying to keep our goals going, we have to make that choice to be in a space of, I can do this, or what can I do today to get me where I need to go? And it's like leaving the outside world outside of you. So that's how we got through the pandemic in our house, is just kind of creating a bubble around us. So let's be creative in here and let's think of all the things we can do and where do we have power, where do we have choices. And I think you've got to stay in a mindset like that so that you can keep yourself going. And you need to write your goals down, so if you have that sense of purpose, that keeps you moving forward.
Great. If you had to bury a treasure chest, where would you bury it?
Well, if you didn't want anybody to find it, when you put it under a house or something or a building, like put it in the ground and build a house over it, then nobody will ever find it, right?
Yeah, of course. Like who would search under a house for a treasure chest?
Nobody would think about it, right? They think, no, there's no way anybody would do that. So then you'd be okay. Then you just have to you'd have to take the house down or something, plow through it in order to find the treasure chest.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having you here, Mary, talking about your works as a author, special needs advocate, ghostwriter, songwriter, speaker, live streamer, and wow, everything else has been quite amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this time. And, if anybody wants to find me, they can find me at www.maryejackson.com. I'm on social media. They can, go check out the new song by Sisters J called Open Wind. It is playing in England. I know that, in the UK, because we saw where it was picked up. So, we'd love to support and sharing the message of, sending something positive, a positive note to somebody who's needing it.
Great. And until next time, stay tuned for more.